Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, girl.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, grrr. Well, hello, America, and thanks for coming. My name's Seth. What's yours?
Hey, Jamal's here.
Hi, it's Stony.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another fun week at Thanks for Coming, the most magically gay podcast. We are back again, of course, to give you all the RuPaul tea for the week. So I hope you guys are ready.
Yes, lots to get into this week.
Yes.
Well, before we get into it, I feel like there's a couple points of business. Normally we just jump into the episode, but there are new things that happen this week, so I feel like we should address them. And First of all, I just wanted to see how Jamal's wig was sitting after Beyonce released a new single.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So I've been so up and down at work and like in my own world over here with projects, making myself way busier than I need to be. And I missed the initial release. Like I saw that it came out as I was like going to bed. So naturally I had to stay up for 2 extra hours to make it up to the queen and give her some listens.
Wow. Don't you get like kicked out of the hive now, or?
I was pretty close, but they clocked my listen, so I was safe, and I loved it. Such a message.
As long as you get like 50 listens within the first day, like you're fine.
Pretty much. It was on repeat, but of course, that is no problem.
For sure.
And all the proceeds are going, all of the proceeds are going to support Black businesses. So, of course, she's just out here doing the damn thing and continuing to lead by example, and hopefully others will follow in her footsteps with their crafts.
Oh, wow. That's like such a great idea. Normally I just listen to my music on iTunes, on Spotify, but I think I might go purchase this one.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm usually on Spotify. I'm a paid account girl, but I definitely bought this one.
Yes. So other news, I gave myself a little makeover yesterday, and I wanted to share with everyone that I cut 7 inches of hair off of my head yesterday.
Woo, she's feeling light.
I'm so aerodynamic.
Whoa.
Yes.
How do you feel? What brought it on? Did you just need a change?
Well, if you guys follow my personal Twitter, you've probably been seeing me tweeting about like wanting my hair cut for the past couple weeks. And, I'm a quarantine queen, so I was not about to go out to get haircuts or anything like that quite yet. So I was like, I don't know, should I just like keep it growing, see how long it gets in quarantine? But I was really, really, really annoying to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll cut it. Like, should I buzz it? Like, what should I do? Like, should I go full Britney? I don't know. So, so I was watching Trixie Mattel and catching up on her Full Coverage Fridays. And then also after that, I watched this documentary about Queen and Adam Lambert, and sort of like it talks about Queen's journey after Freddie Mercury died up to meeting Adam Lambert and how like he fits in and like just sort of that whole story. So that just made the perfect storm of me feeling my oats, and I was like, bitch, we are cutting my fucking hair tonight. I can't do it.
I'm very that energy as well. Like when I make a decision, I kind of just have to, I talk myself into it in a way where it's like, you have to do this right now or you're going to change your mind or go back on it. And Seth knows and Stoney knows I've done so much with my hair over the years. So I was the same way. Like I loved my long hair for a minute. Like I had dreads and everything. They weren't like hanging dreads yet, but they were formed. And one day I was like, this is too much. And
this is all too much.
I was dating Stoney. I was like, this needs to go. And I found like the nearest barber shop, and they did cut it, but I still wasn't satisfied. So I just chopped the shit off.
Uh-oh.
But I felt so good afterwards. So it's nice to experiment with your hair while you have it. And it looks good on you.
Well, thanks, girl. Definitely feeling good about it. I feel a lot lighter and refreshed. And with summer coming, it was just going to be a lot with all of that hair. So, I was feeling my little Adam Lambert rock star moment, and it was time.
Well, we support you, Queen, and way to do it.
Yes. So those are our updates for the week, you guys and gals and everyone in between. So we'll go ahead and switch gears here and get into our honest tea spill of the week.
Honest tea.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Honest Tea Spill of the Week. We are, of course, back again to dish and dive into all that's happening in this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, Episode 3 of All Stars 5.
The heat was turned up this episode. All Stars 5, they're not playing with the drama. As far as everything else is concerned, I don't know.
It's definitely an experience this season. I'm not sure it's the All-Stars experience that we signed up for, but it's definitely an experience.
Yeah, this is like almost a mixture of like Bad Girls Club and RuPaul's Drag Race. Somehow, like, while we're talking about my hair, like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be gray by the end of this season.
Yeah, my hair is slowed down coming in. So it's definitely something's happening on my head too.
I don't know. I kind of understand now why they wanted to put this season on Showtime.
Yeah, it's like that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
There's so much drama each and every week. It's just too much, and I don't know how, like, after this season, we're going to need a break.
We said the exact same thing earlier. All Stars is one of those things where we've already kind of got a little bit of Drag Race fatigue, even though we're always excited for a new season. We're definitely going to need like 2 years before another All Star season. Give the girls time to develop and cook up their crafts a little more, and then maybe we'll have the All Star season we were expecting.
Right, but also I want like Drag Race UK queens and Thailand queens on the show for like the next All Stars.
Ooh, intersection.
Yes.
I love that.
I think it's time to put the Drag Race UK girls on All Stars because, girl, the talent pool is, I don't know, running dry.
Well, and I haven't seen any shade rattle.
Pork chop on next season.
Oh, no.
Yes.
People were telling me I need to check out Drag Race Thailand, and it's been in my queue forever, and I just haven't started it. So I definitely need to jump into their season because I've seen some looks, and they can turn it.
Yeah, same girl. I think the reason why I haven't watched it yet is just like pure accessibility. So I don't know if it's on World of Wonder like app or not, but I hope I can find a way to watch it because I'm interested.
I'll share my resources with you.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. All right, so at the top of this episode, Angina has eliminated herself.
Ben de la Creme style. They just cut that scene.
Yeah, that one hit the cutting room floor. So in the workroom after elimination, Alexis Mateo is talking a big game. She's going to break kneecaps and spit in your food.
Alexis is the bitch throwing pearls on stage, so y'all better look down and watch out.
Yeah, she's definitely pissed this episode.
She's feeling very spicy for sure. So then the next day in the workroom, they barely get around the table, and Alexis asks Miss Cracker what the purpose was of her saying that she should have used the whiteout to send Angina home.
Ooh, people are coming for Miz, that's for sure.
Yeah, they really are. Cracker says she meant to say, like, to get your head in the competition to Angina, but it came out wrong. She has to stop her apology because Mayhem is maniacally laughing on the other side of the table. It's very uncomfortable.
It's just really weird because I feel like clearly there has to be some dynamics happening off camera or like on the previous tours or just the girls knowing each other outside of the show now. They don't seem to be really jiving or connecting with Miz and looking for any opportunity to kind of bust Miz in the kneecaps and call her out, because I did think, like, why the hell is she laughing like that? Like, you're going to judge a person, but you're not going to let them like finish it. I get you're not buying it, but why aren't you buying it?
Yeah, it's just a weird vibe. It seems like nobody likes her, but then also I don't know, Shea likes Ms. Cracker, so I don't know. It's just very confusing, and Ms. doesn't really have a way of like even, it seems like she's not interested in really like trying to make friends either, so I don't know, it's weird to me.
It's an easy opportunity to kind of get in somebody's head, and of course Queen Shea Coulee is emotionally intelligent enough to understand that, because she's kind of the same way. She's like, what are these girls doing? I don't understand.
Right. So Mayhem says she doesn't think the apology is authentic, and Alexis chimes in to say that Angina is gone and that you should have apologized to her while she was here.
I know. Calm down, Alexis. It's not like there's not time after you're fucking done filming to do
Right.
that.
Right. It's like very strange. So am I making this up? Because I feel like Cracker did apologize to Angina at one point. Maybe it was in the deliberation or something where she said, like, I shouldn't have said that the way that I did.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she did apologize to Angina, so I don't know. It seemed like Alexis just kept trying to, like, I don't know, step into the wound or something, and like she just wouldn't let it go. But I don't know. I just think it's because what Miz said actually wasn't factually incorrect. Like, Angina actually did kind of just give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. It's like, did she need to say it? Maybe not in the moment because that wasn't a topic of conversation. But, like, I don't know. It wasn't wrong. It's like, what else do they want her to do? Like, do they want her to be like, you know what? I'm so sorry, Alexis. I'm actually going to eliminate myself so that Angina can come back.
I think that's exactly what she wanted.
Like, I just don't know what else Cracker can do besides apologize.
Right.
I don't know. They don't even really give her a chance to show her like growth and her like making more of an effort or anything like that either. It's just like the next episode they're like, why aren't you like the perfect friend?
Yeah, and you have to give people time and space to do that, and they're only going to apologize so much.
Right. So Alexis says that she wants everyone to be real or else she will eliminate your ass.
I think she's putting a huge target on her back. I'm not sure what kind of game Alexis is playing here, but she's just super spicy this episode.
Definitely. Yeah. Jujubee thinks that Alexis is the one playing mind games.
Yeah, and I agree with Juju there because, you know, maybe it's not overproducing yourself. It doesn't really fit in that category, but some people do. They are more talented in that department than others.
Right. And Alexis, this is her third season. She knows how to make good TV. She's a well-liked queen.
This is Vanjie's mama, y'all. Keep an eye on her.
Definitely. So thankfully the sirens go off and RuPaul comes in. We don't have to be uncomfortable anymore. So the week's Maxi Challenge this week is they are pairing up the girls to create their own signature luxury suite.
Ooh, this is giving us like similar vibes as the club challenge where the queens created their own kind of clubs, but ooh, a resort?
Yes.
Yeah. So the teams are as follows. Completely, totally random, not planned at all for a storyline. So they are Ms. Cracker, Mariah Balenciaga, and Shea in one team, Jujubee, India, and Alexis in another team. And because there's only two queens left, the last team is Mayhem and Blair St. Clair.
I wasn't even thinking that random selection.
They always
was
say random.
Shady. Right, but you know there's more to that.
This is also just like poor planning by production. Like, why not do this when it's like 9 queens so we can have even teams? Like, it's not that fucking hard to like pull out a calendar and be like, let's do this at 9 instead of 8.
Right. Well, because I mean the team of 2, they won because there's not as much like push and pull of agreements and like ideas between the girls. They can just have like a more streamlined decision on what they're doing. So the girls break off to brainstorm, and Jujubee says she wants to do a wild Alaska theme. It was rejected, but I think it was really a missed opportunity to have us think that you're going to see salmon and moose, but then it's just pictures and everything related to Alaska Thunderfuck.
That would be hilarious. I would not even go there with that.
That would be so funny, I think. Missed opportunity. So Cracker is still shaken up, and this is when we get into a very psychotic edit. Shea or Mariah would say something, and Cracker's like, yeah, yeah. Thought bubbles, anxiety.
Just a brewing. The storm is just churning, isn't it?
It really is. So it's time to design the rooms, and my question is, why did Alexis let little Juju be the one to lift that large couch? That is so shady.
Look, Alexis is feeling her oats this episode. She's like, I don't have to do shit for anybody, and I'm not.
Yes, we're not size shaming, but Alexis is a hefty bitch, so I'm calling shade.
Yeah, and they could have done it together, you know.
Right.
Let's help everybody's back. We all wear heels, right?
Exactly. Another fun moment in making their sweets is, did you catch Ms. Cracker's Janet Jackson dance?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I like that little moment she took for herself.
Mm-hmm. We see Ms.
Yes. So then we're back in the workroom. It's elimination day, or runway day, however you want to look at it. So Shea checks in on Ms. Cracker and says that it was a real rough day around the table the other day. And then Cracker realizes that it was like a bad situation that she was in, but she is working well with her team now, and she's happy about it. And Shea says that she has enjoyed working with Ms. Cracker this week.
And Shea is really good this way as a human being because she's just a good friend, and that's what Ms. Cracker, I think, needed. It's what any of the girls need, really. But Shea has this ability to kind of just be very level and calm for whoever needs that as a presence. And I think that Ms. especially needs that because she might struggle with how to communicate exactly how she's feeling because she's afraid of being attacked by the Alexises of the cast.
Yeah, I think Shea gives off Beyonce energy.
I like that.
Yeah, she just is a very calming person. Like, it reminded me a little bit of, like, on Shea's original season, like how I believe it was Nina Bonina, like she was always like there trying to like calm Nina down because she was just like out of control all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I like that because, I mean, you know that Shea and Cracker are friends outside because even when they entered, they're like, oh, we were talking about collabing on something together. So clearly they work well together. So Cracker says that people that she respect and look up to and work well with are Shea, Mariah, and Jujubee, but will work on it with everyone else. But all Alexis Mateo hears is that Cracker doesn't trust her, and there is a big confrontation.
Right. It's like, bitch, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I said I was working on it with the others, so maybe you could be on that list tomorrow or 2 years from now, however long it takes for me. But this isn't about you, so turn around.
Yeah, this was Alexis just wanting to like have a moment on the show because she wasn't involved, basically.
Yeah, she was just over there in the corner doing her makeup like, oh God, I'm not getting screen time.
Maybe she does just need to get laid, and I'm only saying that because that's what she said at the top of a previous episode. You know, some people get really angry when they need to get that poison out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. She said it, not me.
Jamal might have a point here, you guys, but we'll do some research and check back in with you guys. So Shea's had enough of this bullying, I guess, if that's what you want to refer to it as, or let's call it drama. Shea's had enough of this drama and stood up for Cracker and tell her that she's twisting what Cracker said and basically says to back the fuck off, Alexis, Miss Thang.
Yeah, it's really like so extra and unnecessary. Like, nobody was talking to you. Let this person have their moment and you'll get yours, I'm sure.
Definitely. So let's talk about the sweets. If you were into like golden showers, maybe you would want to go to the Glamazone. This wouldn't be my choice because it just sounds like there's going to be pee pee everywhere. Um, I'm pretty sure the mysterious ingredient to make you relax in their cocktail is urine.
I was hoping it was THC.
I mean, I would hope so too, but this is a very pee-centric room.
Good point. I wasn't really connecting with this one.
Yeah, I wasn't connecting with this one either. Aesthetically, this wouldn't have been my choice, but I do think that Alexis and Jujubee were very funny throughout the scene.
I agree. That's exactly how I feel because they were funny. We were laughing throughout the whole thing, but it would not be my first choice based on looks. And don't talk about her grandma, bitch.
Yeah, that part. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it too. It was more just it wasn't my favorite, but Juju and Alexis made it hilarious, so that's why I liked it.
Yes. So then we have the Golden Gals Palace. What did you guys think of that one?
This one was a little lukewarm for me. It was just a little like one note. I think the idea was great and it had potential for sure, but the execution just wasn't there. And that tends to happen sometimes. There's maybe too much going on, not enough focus on one or two things, and it's all lost in translation.
Yeah, on paper, I thought it was a cool concept. I think for the most part, it really wasn't that funny. And I thought the design of the room was cool. Like, I noticed they used Shea's, I think it was Shea's, like, entrance look, like, for, like, the wallpaper or something.
Yeah, it was
was
same pattern, but different colors.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I don't know
Good
if
eye.
they got that from Shea or where that came from. But anyway, I thought it was a cool design, I guess. But, yeah, not as funny, I guess, as the first one.
Yeah, I agree with Stoney. I think they spent a lot of time on the look of the room, but not enough time on selling it. And that's probably 3/4 of the challenge is selling it. Because, I mean, you can have a cool room, but if you can't sell it, then it's just like, meh.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, of course, we have Mayhem and Blair in their 24 karat palace.
24 karat palace. So if I was picking any of the rooms for aesthetic reasons, it would be this one. I think the furniture could have been positioned a little differently. That was a little chaotic, but it looked the cleanest and the bougiest. So this is the room I want.
Yeah.
It was definitely very rich, but
Expensive.
expensive. Club 96.
How expensive is it?
Blair was serving like rich bitch Karen fantasy for real though.
Yeah, I still don't, I guess, like, I don't really know. Is that what the challenge was judged on? Was the design, or was it just the whole package?
I think it's what Seth just said. They probably sold it the best, even though I think the first room was the funniest. The entire concept, I think they tied it together better than the others.
They had like the more complete package. I didn't really think anything they did was like very funny to me, but
yeah,
I did like, the room and everything.
Yeah, I agree. I like the gold aesthetic, and thankfully this room doesn't come with golden showers, so I appreciated that. So I don't know. I mean, this was I feel like all three, like, none of them are that great, but this one was, like, I guess the most entertaining because it was, Mayhem and Blair were both, like, really just being so funny, like, selling the, like, yes, so rich. And then, like, even Michelle broke, like, when Blair was like, how expensive do you feel? She's like, the most expensive.
Yeah, and I think it's the details like that is what the judges pay attention to. They want to see how well you're working together. Are you making it believable? Mayhem still kind of faded for me, but she was in it as well. I think the energy was there. Blair just kicked it up a little higher than she did.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too. They were the most I think they worked together the best of the groups, as far as in the scene itself. The other groups, they work together well, I'm sure, but like Blair and Mayhem just played off each other so well. So I think that that would be probably a great spot to stop. We've been talking about golden shower so much. I think I have to go to the bathroom. So
seriously, I think we'll get a more exciting challenge to expel more energy for you next week, gals, and everyone else.
Fingers crossed. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back real shortly. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to our podcast so far. Thanks for coming. Right now, we're probably refilling our drinks, or maybe even gluing down our lashes again. While you wait, here's some things that you should check out.
Yeah, remember everyone, you can email us, tfcpod@gmail.com, and tfcpod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, and one more thing. You're not my real dad, and you never will be. Anyways, back to the show. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Honesty Spill of the Week. We are, of course, about to get into the runway and the 2 to 3 and 1s that we saw on the runway.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone gave us 3 full looks, but let's get into that.
I don't think everyone understood the assignment.
T.
Yeah. But on the runway, we have special guest Martin Lawrence. No, not that one. Martin Lawrence Boulard. And then also we have, of course, Nicole Byer, who is somehow on the official RuPaul podcast and not us, but you know what? We like her, so she can stay.
We like Nicole Byer. Stoney Loves Nailed It, of course. He keeps up with it more than I do, but I've gotten to know Nicole over the last year through her content she's put out, and she's so funny. I've also seen her on Monique's Heart channel a couple times, and both of those videos were hilarious. I was excited to see her.
Yes, perfect RuPaul's Drag Race judge, unlike, I don't know, that beer lady, Madison Beer.
Yeah.
Beer lady.
She's canceled, too. She gets canceled all the time.
She was canceled before she was even, like, famous.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, getting famous for sucking Justin Bieber's dick, I guess. Wow. Go off, sis.
Oh, no.
But anyways, God, I'm getting worked up again. But no, we love Nicole. I actually just heard her. She was on one of the last few podcasts from Sloppy Seconds with Meatball and Big Dipper. So loved her on that episode. All right, time to talk about the looks. Who do you think had the best looks?
You know, this week I have to give it to Blair for completing the challenge because she did all 3 looks, like full looks, excuse me, and they all made sense for what she was going for. They looked complete after each reveal, and she wasn't just, taking off a cardigan or a sweater. So good job, Blair. She served it. She's always looking snatched, and honorable mention for me goes to Ms. Cracker because I love that second big ball gown moment she gave us.
Yes, I have to second everything you said about Blair just because it was like an actual... There were 3 unique looks. They all like made sense. They all looked really good. So kudos to her for that. I also thought Ms. Crackers was really good. I actually thought Mariah's was pretty good. Like, it was 3 looks. Now, it was kind of like the same, like, theme throughout all 3 looks, but at least it was, like, they were unique and different, I thought.
Did she just take off a jacket, though, before she walked down the runway?
Well, she was wearing, like, a helmet, right? Like, when she first came out and had, like, a big, like...
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
And then I
That's
think
right.
the second one was... I forget what the second one
The
was.
second one was just like the plain black, drapey sort of
That's what
situation.
it was. I
She
forgot
just had,
about
like
the first
a big
look.
like gown for the last one.
Yeah, okay, I forgot about that first look.
So I did like hers. Who else? I mean, Jujubee's was fun.
Juju's fun with the holiday theme.
Yeah, so those are kind of my like highlights, I guess.
Yeah, I will agree with what everyone's saying here. For me, I think my favorite would have been Jujubee. She had a really three completely separate looks, culturally sensitive. And I think that she did a really good job. I agree with what you guys were saying. For me, Blair was like maybe safe, not a top, but she did give us three looks, so that kind of like really propels her towards the top of the list more than others.
Agreed. I wouldn't say she won the week, but she completed the challenge.
Yes. I want to give props to Alexis Mateo, but I've never seen a ballerina at a circus, so
that's what I
don't
said.
know.
Like maybe on the tightrope, but it's more like tutu. Like this was more. It's just the ballerina tool, but there was nothing tutu about that, and the ideas just weren't like cohesive for me. Like there was no. You don't necessarily need a story or a theme for each look, but it just didn't connect in any way for me.
Well, and I will give her props though, like you said, because she did actually have three unique looks.
Yeah.
So that's more than what we can say for some of these queens.
Most of them.
Right. The big top look for me wasn't great. But I think a more successful journey for her would have been big top to ringmaster to this trapeze artist that she had.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
All right, so let's talk about, I guess really for this, there's more of tops and bottoms. So let's talk about the ones that were not so successful. Maybe the ones that like did not offer us three separate looks.
You know, I have to bring up India first because I just kind of love the period piece kind of looks, and I was excited for where it was going to go. But if you don't stop giving me like these unitard looks, queen, and push it a little more, like last week you gave me the unitard with the ruffle moment. Then you gave us that again with the heart pinning the fabric together with some fringe that was not necessary. And now this week it's like a unitard with a like loose hanging belt, which don't get me wrong, it's sexy, but it wasn't like the challenge. It's taking off a skirt and your cape. That's not three different looks.
Yeah, when she first walked out, I actually thought, I was like, this look, I actually liked it as a look, but it basically, she didn't do the challenge. Like, she basically just took off accessories, and then she was like, I'm done.
Yes, this
like,
is not the accessorizing challenge.
Yeah, like, girl, like, you did not complete the challenge.
Right. And that's where it's not fair to pick on Mariah, because while she did sort of do that, I feel like she had at least more separate looks.
Yeah,
like between the beginning and the end were vastly different, so she at least had pretty solid, a couple solid looks in there.
I agree.
I feel like we also of course need to talk to Mayhem, because this is sort of also what happened with her.
Mayhem gave us like 1.5 looks. I don't know, like you can't just take off an accessory and call it a different look. I mean, sure you can, but if we're really splitting hairs, Drag Race, that does not, removing a single accessory does not count as like an entirely different look, and it doesn't.
I don't know. Yeah, this was bad. I'm just so disappointed in Mayhem. Like, I was expecting so much more out of her, and just like, girl, you know better than to like, as somebody that has literally, she's watched the show as much as she has, and she's gonna come out and like not even have like a 3-in-1 look or whatever.
Not to mention, if you're going to be coming for queens the way you have during, like in the workroom and in your talking heads, you better be serving some sauce, miss, and it's just not a good look.
Right. Like, taking off your sarong doesn't make your bathing suit different in any way. So,
nope.
I don't know. She wore like an outfit like a woman would wear to a pool, with, they want to feel like covered up when you first get there. So you have like the little jacket moment, and then you get to the pool, you take it off, and then, you're in your sarong, you're tanning a little bit, and you're like, I guess I'm like really hot now, so I'm gonna go in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one look. It's just one look, girl.
Yeah, and I want to, like, I really, really want Mayhem to do well, but what happens with some of these girls is, or the way I see it going, we'll see what happens on the next episode, is they get too caught up in what's happening off the stage, and they lose focus on themselves and the competition. And sadly for Mayhem, this is kind of a theme so far. She starts hot and she burns out, and I don't want to see that happen again.
And the audacity of Mayhem voting for Shea. Like, what in the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, bitch.
Well, that's a conversation we'll have later. But yes. but I also do want to say that I really liked Mayhem's final look. I thought she looked really good.
It was really good. That was a good drag.
Also, one that we have not talked about yet, which maybe that's just us being crafty, is Shea Coulee.
Shea was in the middle for me this week. I don't think it was as arts and crafts as the judges tried to make it sound. Like, we've seen other queens who come out with capes during the finale that say reveal, and other queens who just walk out with garbage bags around them, but it's fine because they're a more popular queen.
And white.
And let's talk about it. But I thought this was just like a neon Bugs Life fantasy. I didn't think it looked cheap, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, Shea, go girl, you did that, you slayed. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I kind of think it was all right. One of the problems I think with it, well, a couple things. One, it just seemed like there was a lot going on and a lot of colors. It all kind of blended together, and it just kind of looked, when you looked at it, it was like this kind of like messy looking just with everything. But then two, because it was like a, 3 looks in one or whatever, it almost like there was not a huge variation between the 3 things that she was doing, even though I would say she was better than like India or Mayhem. They were kind of like similar.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I would say this one would definitely be a safe for me. I guess if we're being critical of 3-in-1s, this is kind of almost in the same realm of like Mayhem and India. Not necessarily being a full 3-on-1, but also not, because there was an actual story going on here. Whereas like we're not just going to like the beach or whatever.
There was more of a concept with the caterpillar to a butterfly.
Right. And the skill of, just alone of Shea painting her face that way and looking really good. Like, I think there's more effort from Shea than these others, of course. The wings, I guess, our sort of reference for this is Courtney Act, with her big giant wings.
Yes.
So when you get like these baby wings, maybe it's just not as visually like, exciting on the show, I guess.
Yeah, I think it would have made more of an impact if there was a way for them to come out still on the shoulders, but more to the side. It would have been a little more dramatic than kind of just sticking out of the shoulder blades and giving us like archangel vibes or something.
Right. And I was also kind of hoping it was like not, she used kind of like fabric, and I was kind of hoping it'd be more like tassels or something more hanging that would give more movement.
Oh, something a little more dragged up.
Yeah, I don't know. But overall, I think it's okay. I just sort of went back and forth as she was walking down the runway, like, oh, this is cool. Well, what's happening? Yeah. Oh, gosh, like overload.
Overload is the word. It was just very busy.
Yeah. So I guess I'm kind of, I'm not going to shit on Shea, of course, because she is Shea. She's amazing. But yeah, I don't know. It was just sort of weird for me. So it was like I guess she was safe.
Yeah, it was like she took a risk and it didn't really pay off this time. But overall, Shea is really good. So,
and this is the risk of being really talented in anything that you do, right? You're gonna have your bad days, even though it's not really bad. You just you didn't win that day. Like, you live to see another day and move on. So Shea was having one of those moments. It was a safe week.
Definitely. Yeah, it's all stars. You really are getting nitpicked at this point. One thing before we move on, I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed Ms. Cracker's face beat this week. I thought she looked really good.
I think Ms. Cracker really served. I wouldn't put her like at the top, but I really, really, really enjoyed her concept as well.
Yeah,
definitely. All right, you guys. So moving right along, we find out that the winning suite is the 24 karat gold experience by Blair and Mayhem. But fuck their drag, because Jujubee is winning this challenge.
Yes. Good job, Queen Juju.
Yes, and can I just say, Jujubee this episode in general, not just in the challenge, was like cracking me up. Like it just, I don't know. She is just a great queen. She's
So
hilarious.
funny. I could listen to Jujubee speak like for hours. Does she have a YouTube channel?
I don't know. She might have a podcast, I think.
So funny. Just the talking heads, everything. Just love, love, love Juju.
Yes.
I want her to like narrate my life.
Yes, please.
All right. Oh, and also this is Jujubee's first main challenge win, and she's been on the show for 3 seasons.
That was so wild to believe. Like, yeah, 3 seasons. We are very familiar with Juju, but my goodness, it did not register she'd never won.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So let's see. So Jujubee wins a stay at the nicest hotel in a retirement community in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Fort Lauderdale has some decent male stripper venues, I hear.
Oh, does it?
That's the
So
only.
it's not all retirement communities.
That's the only reason I'd go to Fort Lauderdale.
Same. Get that Florida trade, girl.
Sorry, Florida listeners.
Another fun moment that I liked during the critiques is when Nicole tells Cracker to stop worrying what everyone is saying because, and this is transitioning into my train of thought, because if Cracker does feed into what Alexis and Mayhem are saying, then she's buying into that storyline. But if Miss Cracker is confident and doesn't worry about what they're saying, then they are going to look foolish.
That's right. And that is a secret ingredient to anybody's sauce. It's just kind of having that confidence to put on that filter where you can ask yourself, is that criticism constructive? Are they just trying to bring me down? Am I trusting my gut in this moment? And we've seen Miss Cracker do really well. We've seen Miss Cracker live, and she's a great performer. I think she's just in her head, and I think that Nicole saying that, I will agree. I think it shook the other girls a little bit because it's like, don't be boosting that bitch's confidence, because as soon as she's back to who Cracker is, they're all in trouble.
Right, and I was initially worried. I was like, ooh, Alexis is not going to be happy getting called out on the runway, so I guess we'll see what happens next week. But I think that this is a big confidence boost for Ms. Cracker, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens next week.
Yes.
For sure.
All right, so then we find out that the bottom 3 this week are India, of course, Mariah, and Shea Coulee.
I love that, of course.
Well, she's made it her home the past few weeks, so.
And she's pissed about it. I hate that Shea is in the bottom because with All Stars, it's just always that moment. I was stressing out on Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh, these queens are going to vote her off.
Yeah, I was for sure, like, during this, I was like, Shay's going home. Like, I just knew it was going to happen, and I was like, oh my God, like, this season is ruined.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter was like, I swear to God, if Shea goes home this week, I'm burning all the rest of the Queen's wigs. So,
hey, it's not their fault. Go burn Rue's wig.
Yeah, I mean, it's just completely shocking to me to put Shea in the bottom. There's like literally no reason for that other than the fact that they just know Shea's gonna do so well in this competition.
Yeah,
and they just wanted to, like, switch it up, so they're like, oh well, Shea was in the bottom that one time, to kind of like give her more of a story arc depth, I guess you would say.
Yeah, this is one of those love-hate moments because it is the queens that would be voting her out, but it's like production in the show. It's like, okay, can we just have it like a regular season, because these twists, it's not working in my favor this week, so I need it to stop.
Right. Don't give them the opportunity to do that. Like, they were trying to get another Manila Luzon moment out of this, I think.
Yes,
yeah,
they were.
But the thing is that sucks is, like, this is not All Stars 4. Like, we had other, like, talented queens.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did it this season and got rid of Shea, like, who the fuck is left? Like,
right.
T.
I'm like, who do I want to even? Yeah, I don't know, girl.
T.
All right, so yeah, India throws a tantrum because she wants her last TV moment on television.
I don't know. Like, I get being like frustrated. I haven't been on the show, obviously, but I feel like at some point when you're part of these competitions, or if you're at work, or you're doing whatever else you're focused on in life, right? There comes a moment where you know you're not giving it your all, and that you could maybe try to interpret the critiques or feedback a little differently.
I don't know. Like, somebody should just fucking tell her that, like, she didn't complete the assignment this week.
Yeah. She was serving us crocodile tears honey this week. I mean, no one believes you. You're in the bottom. You're a filler queen. So we just need to keep going so that Shea can win.
Oh, no. I don't believe you're
I
a
don't
filler
know.
queen, India, but you do need to, like, push it a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I think
Push
she's
it real good.
freaking out. You won the first fucking challenge. It's episode 3. Like, it's fine, girl.
Yeah, right.
Well, and this is often the trajectory we see for the earlier season queens on an All-Stars. You know, they're like, give them their moment right in the first episode, and then they are leaving the competition. I don't know. I just don't know why I'm so turned off by India Farah. That's just how it is, and I'm sorry.
Hey, that's
It's
all right.
Too late to apologize.
Yeah, I like that one. That's my jam, girl. It's too late to apologize. Anyways, so yes, we find out it's time to lip sync. We find out Jujubee's lip sync assassin is going to be Raven, and they cried the whole time.
We wish.
I was hoping Tyra Sanchez was the lip sync assassin this week.
James is not
Girl.
doing any gigs.
James is not a part of this anymore. No, but really, we find out that Jujubee's lip sync assassin is Monet Exchange. What a strong competitor.
Yes, queen, coming out here looking like the most basic, thickest figure skater you've ever seen.
She's a thicker skater.
You know Monet is...
That didn't really work.
Oh, no. That one was lost.
Like a thick figure skater? I don't know.
We'll workshop it. But you know
Yeah.
Monet's always beat. She didn't give us her pussycat wig moment, but she's gorgeous. And while it was a simple look, I mean, she's still stunning.
Right. I thought this was a little bit of a disappointing lip sync, in my opinion, overall. I will say that Monet did deserve to win, but, I mean, we've all seen Monet lip sync and turn it out. And this one, I don't know, just felt a little bit too mellow for the song.
Well, I feel
for both.
Yeah.
I feel like she didn't. She felt like she probably didn't need to pull out all the stunts and shows. No shade to Juju, but
She's like, I got this.
basically,
I don't know. It was very low energy.
Juice is a great song for, like, all the drag queens lip sync to Juice. So I've seen a lot of great performances to this song, and this was maybe a little bit subpar.
She did, Monet, give us that little, figure skater yoga pose moment where she threw that leg up the way she did. You know, my ass would be in the ER if I tried that. But
Yeah,
that was about as exciting as it got.
I saw a little T-Boz move in there too. I saw a little T-Boz. So in the end, Monet Exchange wins the lip sync, so no one's getting money this week, and that will roll over to next week, where hopefully Shea gets $20,000 again.
Oh, mercy. Listeners, if you are annoyed with us standing Shea, and we haven't seen any of these kind of comments, but I feel like they may be coming, get over it. These queens need to step their pussies up, and we still like them. They're just not turning it like Shea is, and you can all eat it.
Yeah, eat the cake, anime. All right, so in the end, the whole crew that's left voted Mariah Balenciaga off of the show, and she's going home, and it's kind of sad. I mean, Mariah really grew on me. I had low expectations for her because I was never really fond of her in her first season, but she was really enjoyable in All Stars, and a really, really, amazing queen.
Yeah, I really liked her this go round. I wasn't a big fan on her original season, but yeah, I really enjoyed her time here. I don't know. I'm very confused by the voting situations, but
I think,
which we'll talk about in Untucked.
yeah, I agree. I feel like Mariah kind of got the short end of the stick. What we were touching on earlier, like, I don't want to reach for the judges because that's never my intention. But I feel like they want to fall back on, oh, she's just not giving us enough personality. We don't know who Mariah is. You know, they love playing that card. But then you let people by that completely miss the challenge. Like, I think that queens like that who are just not completing the challenge, they need to be shooken in the bottom. And I think Mariah got screwed that way.
In my opinion, I know I'm an India hater, but I think she should have gone home this week instead of Mariah.
I mean, you know, I'm petty, so I would send her home too because you just didn't do it. And yeah, you won the first challenge, but you, miss, have been living in the bottom, and you are on my fantasy team.
Yes. So that's the episode. Stoney, would you like to break it down and let us know how the Fantasy League is looking this week?
Yeah, so this week, episode 3, the point tallies. Jamal got 45 points. I got 20 points, and Seth got 25.
Woo.
So after 3 full episodes, Jamal is in the lead with 95 points.
Woo.
And
Wow.
Seth is second with 75 points.
Uh-oh.
And I am in last place with 60 points.
Okay, it's still a pretty close
Oh.
race.
It is. There's just not a lot of points to be had. So actually, we implemented a new rule this week to give us more points.
Oh, yes, explain.
So we need to tell the listeners so first of all, we got to give Juju B points for not knowing the lyrics, and that's the first time we've ever gotten to use that category.
Girl, you're busted.
Yes. So the new rule that we implemented is, to adapt to these new All-Star lip sync assassin rules. So if your Fantasy League queen wins the lip sync, then you get 10 points. But if your fantasy queen is the one lip syncing and they lose to the lip sync assassin, the other 2 hosts get 10 points.
Yes. So congratulations, you hosts.
Yes.
So this week, Stoney and I got points because Jujubee lost her lip sync.
You know what? I think that's a fun rule, and I will take that.
Yes. I, of course, got my points because Shea Coulee won last week. So not trying to brag or anything.
Just a cute little reminder.
Yes. And Stoney actually has the Fantasy League that's almost completely eliminated.
Yeah, so I only have Ms. Cracker left after Angina and Mariah were eliminated. So I'm fucked, basically.
Good luck, girl.
Seriously, could you imagine if she came back though and just like swept us all? Like, what a wig snatch.
For real. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's move into Untucked. I have several points written down that we should discuss. First, let's talk about Jujubee. She is, really happy she finally has her first win, and she talks about how hard it's been for her to stay clean and sober during the competition. And then Mayhem and Blair also relate to that as well, whether it be alcohol or drug use, to just being in a drag queen and being in the environment of a club. There's lots of those temptations around. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this on the show before too.
Oh yeah, we most definitely have. And I know clearly Drag Race is not a quarantine activity. This was filmed a year ago. So, I mean, think about all of you listeners who are locked in your homes or you're quarantining, staying away from everybody, and maybe you're a sober person and dealing with the stresses of that and just having a really hard time. So, just putting things like work and anything else to add to any emotional distress, like, it makes you want that vice so much more.
Yeah, I was glad that she shared that. And also, I think because Blair, too, has had like a past of, drinking and stuff. So it was good to see her kind of like talk about that struggle as well.
Definitely. I thought it was a great, vulnerable moment, which I think was needed, especially for Mayhem and Blair, because so far this season they've just sort of been catty or really confident.
Yes.
So while we're like, Mayhem, why the hell are you coming for Cracker? Like, this is a good redeeming moment for Mayhem, I think.
It kind of puts a little bow on some things, so it helps to kind of have that extra context for sure.
Yeah, I don't think Mayhem's a total monster now. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I feel the exact same way. We like to see that they're still human.
Yeah, we do. So then we get to see Monet Exchange coming in backstage, and I love that she's still, incorporating Monique's catchphrases.
I know. I love this about Monet and Bob. Like, Monique must get so much like traffic because these two are just always quoting Monique, acting like Monique, calling Monique. Like, it's just hilarious.
It is. And then also we get to see her backstage deciding if she's going to wear that blonde Aiden Zane wig or not.
Yeah, you caught that, didn't you?
Yes, girl. All right. So then RuPaul forces everyone to play Dirty Charades, of course. It's like her favorite game.
It's her favorite game, Miss Ru.
She feels really naughty when they play Dirty Charades. Makes me feel young again. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she makes the people do it on her podcast all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
Ru, stop trying to make Dirty Charades happen.
I know. Please stop.
So then, yes, as we talked about earlier, they show how the votes broke down. And Alexis and Mayhem voted for Shea.
Mayhem was very the strategic vote for sure. Like, when we saw her make her decision, she was like, well, this one's got to go if I'm going to stick around, which is very telling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so stupid. I don't know. This like made me so mad because it's like, you bitches are gonna like, I don't know. I feel like Mayhem's just like, I didn't bring anything to like actually perform well, so I'm just gonna like play carnival games and win Survivor. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we already know Alexis is like, she's not here to fuck around, so she's gonna be like, you need to be real or I'm voting your ass out. And Shea is like the realest bitch there, and you're putting her lipstick in the box. So who's really real? Alexis.
Yeah, those two are definitely strategic. I mean, there were really votes all over the board for the bottom three, so it really could have gone any way. Like, Shea got 2, Mariah got 3, India got 2. So had any other queen switched their mind, it could have gone a completely different way.
Imagine if Untucked were like, oh my gosh, producers, we know you're listening. If Untucked were like an hour, we would probably see a little more conversations happening, because it is like Big Brother and Survivor in that sense, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to like vote you out, but you need to have my back too. I think that we're missing some of those chats outside of the deliberations.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So who did Juju vote for? Do we know?
Juju voted for Mariah, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, next week's opening then will be interesting to see that reasoning.
Yeah, I want to know if Shea asks who voted for her.
Oh shit! I wasn't even thinking about that.
You know, all the girls are nosy as hell. I think everybody's gonna want to know who voted for who.
Definitely, they are. I think India probably doesn't care. She's just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Mariah's not there to worry about it anymore, and Shea's gonna be like, excuse me, because like the two people that she was really like kind of not fighting but like standing up against for Ms. Cracker were the ones that voted for her.
I know. It looks sketchy.
It's not a good look for these two queens. So I'm wondering if one of them, maybe Mayhem or someone, is in the bottom. And then Shea wins.
Ooh, well, we'll see. You know that karma always comes back that way. And I guess like we're towards the end of the episode, so I'll just sneak this in there now because we've talked a lot about Alexis' behavior. With that being said, none of the queens deserve death threats. If y'all don't get out here and get your little cousins or something watching the show, because like we're all human. I am bitchy some days and people see that side of me and that's probably all they think of me. I'm sure the same thing happens to some of you. Alexis was clearly having a moment this episode. Does she deserve to die? No. No, she does not.
Yeah.
And you can't just like throw that shit out there. It's maybe it was a joke in the past. It's not a joke anymore, and it needs to stop.
Right. And I have to say, if I was in this situation, I probably would have reacted the same as Alexis. I was like, oh, so you don't respect me? You know, that's just, you know, like you sort of are like, well, what are you saying about me?
Yeah.
So I don't think, I mean, Alexis is coming for Cracker pretty hard this episode. But no, that doesn't mean no. Alexis doesn't need to die. She's not a bad person. She doesn't need threats. I still think she's strong competition.
Oh, yeah.
And I am still going to root for her.
That's right. Have fun and watch the show.
Yeah, don't take it so
Yes.
fucking seriously. Jesus.
So I think to wrap this up in a positive way, I wanted to talk about a tweet from Mayhem Miller. And she says, some of y'all got me blushing over here calling me the trade of the season.
Oh.
Fact or fiction?
Mayhem's not my trade of the season, but that's no shade. I think Mayhem's very cute, but I've always been, I like them pocket size sometimes, so I think Miss Cracker is my trade of the season.
I mean, Mayhem's cute. I don't know if I really have a trade for this season. Like, really, there's nobody that
No?
I'm like feeling really. So
I have a few.
Oh, well, you
but
share then, Queen.
None of them are Mayhem. So the trades of the season for me would be, in no particular order, Shea Coulee, Blair St. Clair, and Ms. Cracker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shea could get it too, those cheekbones.
Yeah. She could do a lot. But we won't talk about that here.
That's an off-season episode.
Yeah, that's like TFC After Dark, girl. So, but yeah. But then also, too, Bianca Del Rio did send off Mariah Balenciaga.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know. Like, Bianca Del Rio's comedy might not be my cup of tea, but I do love her as a queen.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Her sense of humor is just, it's really funny, and the way she can speak on certain issues, and the way she kikis with all types of cast members that have been on the show. It's it seems genuine, and it's always hilarious and enjoyable.
Definitely. I think she's more fun, like, as a friend
Yes.
than her comedy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's this week's episode. Don't forget to visit thanksforcomingpodcast.com. You can see all of the breakdown of points for the Fantasy League. You can catch up with our latest happenings. You can find all the links to listen to us on whatever platform you like. And of course, leave us reviews.
Yes. Please continue to engage with us online. We love that. Send us questions, tfcpod@gmail.com. And yeah, you know how to reach us.
Yes. And we'll be back next week to talk about episode 4. But until then,
Bye.
bye.